I thought being a digital nomad would give me peace, but it actually taught me that freedom without structure feels like chaos. Everyone dreams of working from beaches and coffee shops, chasing freedom. I did it, and here's what really happened. Hi, I'm Layla. I help ambitious people gain clarity, master their money, and design a life that actually aligns. After 4.5 years in Korea, I packed up everything for freedom. I wanted to travel, create, and finally live on my own terms. But what no one tells you is how unfree freedom can feel when there is no structure holding it together. So stay with me, and I will show you what the digital nomad dream really looks like once the excitement fades. This was my schedule in 2025, and honestly, just saying it out loud makes me tired. Central African Republic from December to February, Korea in March, France in April, Portugal and Spain from mid-April to early May, Cameroon from mid-May to June, back to France in June, CRA again in July through mid-August, Cameroon from late August to October, and France again from mid-October until January. Yes, it was a lot. There are usually two types of digital nomads. Some people pick one city, they stay for a while, they build a routine and work remotely. Others, they keep moving, new cities, new Airbnb, new everything. I did a hybrid version, long enough stays to build routine and short enough to feel like my life was always in transit. In places like the Central African Republic and Cameroon, I stayed longer. I had rhythm, morning at my brother's office, family dinner, weekend events, even time to rest and dream. It gave me grounding and purpose. But Portugal and Spain were a complete different story. Short trips, new cities, every few days, always unpacking and repacking. My goal there was pretty simple. I wanted to explore, see as much as I could and spend time with my mom. It was beautiful, but exhausting. One experience gave me peace and predictability. The other kept me constantly adjusting to new apartments and unstable Wi-Fi, different languages, and non-stop stimulation. Both looked like freedom to me, but they didn't always feel free, if you know what I mean, because here's the thing, freedom gives you choices, but every choice costs energy. And somewhere between airport and suitcase and late night work sessions, I realized something important. I was spending my freedom trying to rebuild stability again and again. Have you ever finally gotten what you wanted and it didn't really feel like the way you imagined? Now, before I go any further, let me be very, very clear. I am deeply grateful to work remotely. I don't clock in at a fixed time. I work about 20 hours a week and I choose when and how, as long as I get things done. Some days I work 4 hours and more. Some days it's just 2 hours. That flexibility has been a huge blessing. It gives me time for other projects, my business, and creating content like this. So naturally, I thought, perfect. I can travel with my mom and explore Portugal and Spain like she's always wanted and work at the same time. That's the dream, right? Well, not exactly. The month and a half I spent traveling through Europe taught me something unexpected. Freedom can be exhausting, so let me explain. When you are constantly moving, you never fully unpacked. Your suitcase becomes your closet. Your room changes every few days. Even if the view outside changes, it never really feels like home. You're there, but you're not settled. Every new place means rolling the dice on internet speed. In Lisbon, mine dropped for days. I ended up working from the living room, which was shared, while strangers were talking in the kitchen while I was in a meeting. I seriously questioned God's timing at that moment, but I thanked him for the mute button. You arrive in a beautiful city with a list of things to do, but your laptop still needs you. So you either work late into the night to enjoy the day, or you cancel an outing because a client meeting popped up at the last minute. It's not quite a vacation. It's not quite work, it's this weird in-between space where you always have present. In expensive cities, if you want to stay longer, you are going to have to share an apartment. And you never know who your roommate will be. Some are fine, others, let's just say, they're memorable. Privacy, unfortunately, ends at your door. You feel like you're on holiday because you're abroad, the sight, the food, the weather, the new language, but you're not. That quiet anxiety of knowing you still have work to do, it follows you everywhere. You're walking through a museum and you're still thinking about your next Zoom call or Teams meeting. That mental split takes away from both experiences. You're never fully working and you're never fully resting. What to eat? Where to work today? Should I cook? Should I go out? Should I try a new spot? Every small decision eats into your focus, and when you're already adjusting to a new place, your brain never really powers down. You want to see everything. You want to squeeze all the sights, the coffee shop, the experiences, but that's how burnout creeps in. You realize time is limited, but the list of must-see isn't. So you rush, and instead of feeling free, you end up feeling, unfortunately, drained. People love the idea of working from coffee shops. It looks romantic on Instagram, but the truth is it's not always inspiring. In France, in Portugal, and in Spain, They're often crowded, they're loud, and they're not ideal for deep work. Honestly, the only country where cafe working or, working at a coffee shop truly worked for me was Korea. I thought freedom meant being able to work from anywhere, but I learned that anywhere doesn't always mean peacefully. Freedom gives you options, let's just be clear, but not all options feel free. After a while, I had to be honest with myself. The problem wasn't freedom, it was how I was managing my freedom. After that realization, I stopped chasing the fantasy of total flexibility because honestly, discipline is not the opposite of freedom. It's what makes freedom sustainable. Flexibility without structure is just chaos with a better scenery, trust me. And I had to start treating freedom like a privilege, not just a playground. So I began building systems that made me feel more grounded wherever I was. When you are always on the move, it's easy to think I will work whenever I feel inspired. But that mindset quickly turns into burnout because inspiration cannot be your only structure. So I set real boundaries, dedicated work blocks, even when I was in a new city, and non-negotiable rules. Once the day ends, it ends. Discipline is the price you pay for freedom. The hardest part of being a digital nomad, honestly, isn't logistic, it's emotional stamina. You arrive in a new city, okay? And first, it's very exciting. But after a few days, you realize you don't know anyone, you're juggling work, you have zero routines and tons of expectations. And in those moments, you see who you really are, because freedom magnifies everything: your habits, your thoughts, your strength, and even your loneliness. If you are grounded, great, it empowers you. If you are not, it drains you. There were days I felt like I was thriving and days where I just wanted stability again. With time, I learned that freedom isn't about moving around, it's about feeling at peace wherever you are. It's not just mobility, it's alignment. And now I define freedom quite differently. It's working few hours, but with intention. It's the ability to move, but not needing to. It's knowing that wherever I go, my peace travels with me. Because the real goal, honestly, was never to escape structure. It was to create a structure that supports the life that I actually want to have. Freedom is giving me the space to design it, and discipline makes it sustainable. Knowing what I know now, yes, I would do it all over again, but differently. I would make it sustainable, not just spontaneous. Shorter trips, longer stays, fewer cities, deeper experiences, less rushing to see everything, and more intention to feel where I am. Because I've learned that freedom only really means something when you know how to manage it. If you are thinking about moving abroad and you want to build a life that actually feels aligned, go watch my video, How to Move Abroad and Actually Build a Life You Love. It'll give you the practical steps to make your dream possible. And if this resonates with you, make sure to subscribe and join me next week because we're diving even deeper into designing a life that feels like yours. Thanks so much for watching. Take very good care of yourselves and you will see me in the next video. Bye.